Monday Night Football, baby. We're here.
There's only one other good play on Minnesota.
Touchdown in 46 seconds. Punches back. Touchdown.
Oh, if you didn't know, it's the Print Factory NFL Divisional Round Series, talking a little football here on a Friday morning. Wanted to get it out, get the people ready to go for this 4-game banger we got this weekend, Big T. 4 games, some pretty good games, might have some weather, some cold, some chills, some snow, who knows, but we're here. We're going to break it all down for you. Big T, how you feeling here? How was round 1 of the playoffs for you? How'd you do?
Yeah, it was a good weekend. I think it was. I always forget when we get to the next week. I definitely did good with bets. I definitely did good Saturday. Sunday, I did not do as good. I was on New England heavy. They played good, but the problem is they got no resistance. Yeah. So I mean, it was nothing crazy. I made a little money. Nothing crazy, and that was a good weekend of football, though. A great weekend of football. The only 2 boring games were probably the 2 we would have said going in, the 2 that just smothered the other teams. All the games, though, before those last 2 were just incredible games. No matter what side you had, what bets, what bet you had, all that stuff. Just as far as watching the games, great football games.
Yeah, exactly. There was definitely 2 that were not as good, and a lot of things go into it. Some kind of some not so great quarterback play at times. When you have tough defenses too, that can kind of stall you out a little bit, force you into punting a bunch and stuff like that, like the Texans and like the Patriots defense is pretty good. The Chargers defense is pretty good. Like those are just tough spots. The Steelers. So hopefully, all the games this week can be bangers, but we probably will have at least one or 2 of these games be like that. So we got to kind of figure that out for DFS, obviously, because we probably want to stay away from some of those games, but there's going to be some plays that we might have to pick out. That's the tricky part here. Like if you played a lot of the Chargers and Patriots last week, it probably didn't work out well for you.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely didn't work out well for me. And Drake May was decent. I think his numbers ended up decent, but Diggs, I was on Diggs. He didn't really do anything. That they just didn't get pushed. And part of the problem too was how good Saturday was. Like some of those Saturday guys.
Yeah, we got spoiled, by the way, on Saturday. We got spoiled on Saturday, and
you can't compete with it on like the 4. You needed those guys on the 6 gamer. I mean, you were in big trouble no matter what if you were waiting for Sunday, Monday pieces, because Saturday was so good. And it's what happens on short slates. Sometimes it's why we always say it. Sometimes you stack games. Sometimes you fade games. Sometimes you get burned. That we love short slates, but it's all or nothing. It's not like full slates where you can branch out a little bit, do a little of this, a little of that. It just – yeah, it is what it is. And the good part this weekend is we have 4 pretty similar totals. Granted, like New England, Houston, the 2 teams last week, is a lower total, but it's not that much lower, which, I mean, no one's going to want to play that game. They're all in the 40s, though. What, 46, 45, 41, 48, like all in that range. I think it's a super interesting slate because really that's the only game I don't think people will be in love with for good reason, the way the slate sets up. But there's a lot of angles we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm sure the Patriots will be giving people, nightmares from last week and then going into this week and watching the Texans defense and how good they were flying around the football and just making plays and stuff like that. I mean, really just winning that game for the offense, because let's be honest, the Houston offense was not very good, but the defense just absolutely carried them. And they might have to carry him again, Tony. So we'll kind of get into that a little bit and break it all down here for DFS. Don't forget, guys, smash the like button on the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already subscribed. Ring that bell and subscribe so you get notified every time we go live. When we feel like doing the show at 10 a.m. instead of 2 or 3, boom, you don't have to worry about it because you get that notification that we are live and ready to roll. Talk these football games out here for this divisional round. Tony, real quick, how did our picks do? How did our round 1 picks? We made picks for all the games at the very end. How did we do? Did you record them or did I forget?
I don't think anything like major changed because you had the Rams in Buffalo.
No, but I'm saying our picks. I know we.
Oh, like for the actual first round?
Yeah. I think
like our picks or our bracket?
Like our bracket. I think I got one wrong. Who did I get wrong? Who did I get wrong?
I mean,
the Chargers. That's who I got wrong. That was my one blemish on the record. Or no, did I pick Eagles too? So maybe 2 wrong.
Yeah, you definitely picked. We both picked Eagles for sure.
So 2 wrong. I got 2 wrong.
I picked Buffalo for sure. I picked
I thought you picked Jacksonville. Or no?
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. I lost Buffalo.
Yeah.
I mean, I said it wrong, but I meant I lost Buffalo. I lost Buffalo and I lost Philly. I ended up betting San Francisco, but I definitely thought Philly would win. And I picked Philly on the show, which is all that matters when we're doing the show. So,
well, taking a plus 200 underdog is different, anyways. When you're betting.
I ended up betting the plus 200 underdog, but I did not give it on the show, so it does not count. I gotta be able to give it on the show.
So, well, we'll see. Maybe you can give it on the show today. Maybe you can give a plus 200 dog today on the show. We'll find out here. Yeah, Eagles shit show. It was a shit show, man. Eagles were tough. It was a tough watch. Not gonna lie, it was a tough watch.
I'm happy they're out. I take all my feelings. I don't care about Philly either way. Like, I'm happy there. I'm tired of having all those good players just never do anything on offense. They just get them out of there. I'd rather have the teams that are in are probably my 4 I would choose. Maybe the matchups or whatever, but I like the 4 that are in there in the NFC. The AFC is a little hairier. The NFC, I like the 4 teams though.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. They won one last year. You got one, Philly. You get out of here.
They just got one not too long ago, right? They just won a few, right? Didn't they win like 8 years ago or however long ago?
They won the one with Nick Foles against the Patriots.
That couldn't have been that long ago. 10 years ago. I don't remember how long it is now, but the years go so fast.
I have no idea, but
wasn't that long ago was the point. You've won 2 in the last 10 or 12 years. So
yeah, you guys got plenty here. All right, Big T. Let's before there are 4 games here. Do you want to go game by game since there's 4 games, or you want to do the positions? How do you want to do it?
I want to do whatever you want to do.
Well, you're the one that leads the ship.
We can go to the positions, and then we can kind of break it down by we can do like the Saturday and then the Sunday on its own or something and do it a couple directions.
Okay. Do you want to talk about it from an overview for each game real quick before we hit the positions?
Yeah, I mean, I can. Okay. So Denver, Buffalo right out of the gate, obviously. Honestly, probably the Rams game will be fun to watch too, but Buffalo, Denver is just an awesome matchup in Denver. A matchup that I like to kind of for Denver. I don't like Denver to play slow teams that I like them to have to face Josh Allen, get pushed a little bit. And honestly, I think it's a pretty good matchup for Denver too, where if Denver was playing, like say Denver was playing Houston for however that would fall. I don't even know if it was possible or whatever, but say they're playing Houston, that would be a miserable game to watch. And I would honestly like Houston in that matchup more than I like Buffalo in this matchup. It's all matchups. Every playoffs, which is why I like it. NFL, NBA, MLB, everything's just how teams match up. And I love the Buffalo-Denver matchup for pure football. Like, honestly, it's kind of like last week's games. I remember on our show, I'm like, I think I went through like 5 of the 6 games, and I'm like, I'm conflicted because it just feels like a good matchup. And I ended up changing a few of my picks because of it and posted it in the Giblets channel of the Run Pure Discord for the members and stuff. But This is another one of those games. All year, I kind of railed on Denver, like I don't like them, and I still don't like them. But this matchup, I keep coming back to it, and I'm like, I think they can beat Buffalo. I feel like it's a good matchup for Denver, which I hate because like I said, if Houston or New England was playing Denver, I would like them more than I like Buffalo, which is just weird because Buffalo is probably maybe not New England. I mean, New England played them tough, but point being, I like this matchup the best for Denver and the worst for Buffalo. I kind of think it's just a hairy spot all around, but it's a great matchup because you got Josh Allen against a great overall Denver team. So I'm excited. I'm leaning Denver right now, but I like it. Seattle, San Fran, I think is easy. I think both NFC games are easy winners for me. I think Seattle's an easy winner, and I think the Rams are an easy winner. They were meant to play in the NFC title game. I really don't think so. I think it's going to be a lot like the last Seattle-San Francisco game, maybe even more dominant because I think Seattle will score more points. They were in San Francisco last time. I think Seattle has one of the reasons I've picked them the last couple months. Their home field's the best in football. Like I just think their home field's insane with this defense hopping around. I think they handle San Francisco very easily this weekend. New England, Houston, I just don't think Houston has enough offense. I don't like your easy winners at all, Benair says. I just don't think Houston can score enough points to beat New England. But this is a game I'm going to love the under. I know the total's the lowest. I just really don't see how there's that much scoring in this game. I just don't. Like last week when we were talking about the Pittsburgh-Houston game, and we were like, I just don't see how there can be offense. And we kind of broke it down where we're like, well, if you flip the build, you can do this with quarter. But we didn't believe it. We were just giving options and stuff. I don't see how there's points in this game. Houston's defense is so nasty and their offense is so horrible. I just don't. And is Nico cleared? I'm sure he'll get cleared from a concussion, but I haven't heard yet. Like if he's somehow sat, they're in even more.
He's gonna sit. There's no way he's playing.
He can't get cleared. Like there's no way.
He can't, technically he
can. He missed the playoff game. It's Sunday, right?
He hasn't practiced all week to this point. He hasn't even been spotted at practice all week. So today will obviously be big. Can he even get to practice? Because if he can't get the practice,
it all about just getting cleared though? How does he get cleared? Like what's the actual?
If he can't get the practice, even if he's wearing a non-contact jersey at practice, like if you can't,
you don't think it's like the thing though where they're just letting him rest so he clears? I don't know.
I think he's first of all, I want Nico Collins to play really bad. I have a ton of him in best ball, so I really want him to play. But no, I don't. The problem is they only get 6 days, not 7 days. So they don't even get the full week. And a lot of times guys need the full week. That extra day is huge. And it's his second concussion this year. He had one mid-season. This is his second one. It also looked really bad too. He fell directly on his head. In a weird way too. We don't see a lot of people fall like that, like head first with no bracing of the arms or anything. Like he legit looked like he dove into the dirt head first. Like when Marab, I don't know if you remember when Marab dove into the ice, Tony, and cracked his skull. That's what it looked like. It looked like he tried to do like a dive motion.
Always comes back to the UFC.
Always. If you don't get it, I'm sorry. I'm not helping you. I wasn't even going to say UFC. I was just going to keep going. But so I think he probably sits here. Is the problem? He needs that extra day. The extra day is huge. Even Christian Gonzalez, who I think is going to clear the concussion protocol, I don't know if he would have cleared it if he had one less day. I think that one less day is going to be really huge, and it's annoying for the Tech. Like honestly, I'm not whatever the Texans. It's not like I care that much, but why in the world do teams get 6 days? I mean, teams get screwed. San Francisco gets screwed. Houston gets screwed, and there's no reason. There's literally no reason why these teams have to get screwed. Like why? Because we need a football game on Monday. That's ridiculous. Like play the games on Saturday and Sunday and make sure it works out where all the teams have 1 week. Like it's ridiculous, Tony. Even if we have to have 3 games on Sunday and only 1 game on Saturday.
I mean, you can just do it how they always used to do it. There never used to be a Monday game. Just do 3 and 3. Like it's simple. Like
Simple.
and even if you play Sunday and come back Saturday, I know it's one less day, but like someone will have to do it. But that's even different than like Monday and then come back Sunday. Like it's just that Monday game just takes the week out.
Yeah, it's bad. It's brutal. It's brutal, especially for teams like obviously it's going to affect Houston with Nico and maybe clearing the concussion protocol, but also like teams like San Francisco who are already brutally injured and could use an extra day or something like that. It affects them all.
Yeah. I mean, totally agree. The good thing for the slate though is I probably wouldn't have played Nico either way, and Houston for that matter. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, the prices are going to be okay when he's out. Like Christian Kirk, absolutely. And that was another thing. I was definitely wrong. I didn't like Christian Kirk, and he just freaking nuked. Oh, that was the Monday game. But I mean, was it Monday? Yeah, it was Monday.
It was Monday.
He just absolutely nuked on me, and that did not go well. But I'm not going to play these. I can't come back with Christian Kirk. Again, I just don't like the spot. There's other spots that I love. And New England, they were my lock of the week last week. I don't know if they'll be a lock this week. I just because Houston's defense is nasty, but I like New England a lot again. And then the last game, I love the Rams. Chicago's been good. I like the Chicago story. I just don't see how they can beat the Rams in this spot. I just don't see it. So I have 3 games I'm clear on: Seattle, New England, Rams, all favorites. So no, but 2 of the spreads are small. It's not like those aren't like just easy takes, and then the first game I'm still a little torn on, but I'm leaning Denver actually.
Yeah. So the first game, I think this is going to be a really interesting matchup. We saw this matchup last year. Buffalo Bills just owned Denver. The offensive line whooped the defensive line. That was the story of the game. Josh Allen had full control of the offense. They held the football and ran it down their throats. I'll be interested to see if they can do it again, because against Jacksonville, they had 0 success rushing the football, and it was all on Josh Allen. And that's why, in my opinion, the Jaguars had a real chance to win. Now, they ended up losing the game, but they were in the game. They had opportunities to win that game. If Denver can do that, they will also have an opportunity to win. Now, that doesn't mean they'll win the game, but they will have an opportunity to win the game if they can slow the running game down. The way you get whooped by the Bills is when Josh Allen can just control the time of possession by a big margin and methodically move the football down the field. Because if you look at Josh Allen in the offense, Tony, they don't have those crazy weapons that can just torch you, big plays, right? They like to get, from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 5 to 3rd and 2, beat you that way, right? 3rd and manageable. They don't want to be in those 3rd and long situations. They don't have really the playmakers on the outside to do it anyways. So that's the key for them. Can they run the football here against a Denver team that, I'll be honest, like this year, they've won a lot of games that were very close. Like they've won 8. The point is, though, they win the games, but the margins are very tight. They've won a lot of comebacks and everything like that. So now we get a tough Bills team against a tough Denver team in Denver. I am going to ultimately lean Buffalo, but I do have my Denver futures. I'm not letting that give me bias, though. I did bet them before the season to win the Super Bowl at 28-1. So, it's kind of like trying to throw my biases aside. At the end of the day, I'm betting the better quarterback, and that is Josh Allen. This is his best chance, I think, to get to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. You got no Lamar Jackson, no Pat Mahomes. Bo's still young from an NFL standpoint, even though, he's a little older for second-year guy. And then you got Drake May and CJ Stroud, who, are also somewhat young and one's inexperienced and stuff. So this is the best opportunity Josh Allen's going to get. I think he gets it. I think he gets all the way to the Super Bowl, and then we see what happens. But I think it's close. I think this game plays out almost similar to the Jacksonville game, Tony. Very similar, actually. I could see Denver getting up. I could see Josh Allen having to do more and finding a way to come back and win the game here. So that's my take with the Bills, Denver, San Francisco, Seattle. I do think it's interesting, and I'm definitely betting San Francisco. I do think it's interesting that in the 2 games they played, San Francisco held Seattle to the lowest points in both those games of any team. So Seattle scored 13 in their win. They also scored 13 in their week 1 loss to San Francisco. And remember, this is a very banged up San Francisco defense. The guys they brought in, though, have helped. Kendricks as a linebacker. These guys have done a pretty good job. They won't get back Fred Warner, which sucks. But the defense is kind of held up. And I feel like maybe Saleh just has a good feel for going against the Seattle team to keep it tight. And we've seen when games are close, Brock Purdy, even though he'll make mistakes, he can also make plays to win the game in the end. So I'm taking the 7 with San Francisco.
Get in there again. You got to keep tradition alive. For the 12th straight week, you're picking against Seattle. Keep it alive.
I think they can win the game, baby. I think they can win this game.
12 straight weeks. Here's in there.
The keys. Ricky Pearsall back. That's huge because they need someone.
That's going to get them over the top. All right.
Will you shut up and let me finish? They need someone who can separate. He is the separation guy with no George Kittle. They need him out there. And then the second key is Trent Williams. They didn't have Trent Williams in that loss. That was huge. You already can't run the football that much as is against Seattle. Trent Williams needs to be on that football field for them to have a chance. He is their best lineman, which we know for a fact on the D or O. And he's just a monster. When he's out there, they're so much better. So those are the keys. I think those guys will be back. That's huge. If the defense can just do what they did the last 2 games they faced them, and Brock Purdy doesn't have to be amazing, Tony, that's how San Francisco wins the game, honestly. And they've shown that they can do it against the Seattle team. So we'll see what happens. I'm not even bringing up the fact that all of a sudden Sam Darnold pick up an injury. I'm not even bringing that thing up. All of a sudden he's questionable. They're giving Drew Lock first team reps. Oh, my oblique hurts. Oh, my. Who gives a shit, okay? Go play the football game. Stop crying, all right? Questionable my ass. Sounds like an excuse getting ready to be made, Tony. That's what I say.
Yeah, I mean, you hate the freebies. You hate freebies.
You kind of look like Sam Darnold. Is that why you're such a Sam Darnold guy? You guys look similar?
People do say that a lot. We're winners. He's a winner. I'm a winner. But, I mean, how do you pick San Francisco against Seattle? Like, you just hate money. That's why you don't ever have the T-box.
Sam Darnold the winner on this show?
He's a winner. He wins. He's the only quarterback to win whatever they said, 14 games 2 years in a row.
Are we just forgetting what the Rams did to him last year in the playoffs? Are we just forgetting that?
I'm forgetting the 12 straight weeks he's owned you. That's what I'm not forgetting.
Hey, listen, I'll just keep going in. 13.
Can't wait for the Super Bowl. Like Josh Allen, he's going to take this defense
14,
down.
15, Tony, I don't care. I'm sticking to my guns. The ship is either going down with me or without me, but it's going down one way or another. I'm either
This is another, like last week, how there was just no way New England was losing. Like there's literally no way Seattle's losing. Like it's just a stone cold lock.
Good. All right. Stone cold lock. Big T's on it. All right. Fair enough. Of course, you were going to bet Seattle.
This is how it always goes, though. These are the spots that I'm good at. Like last week, no one gives San Francisco a chance. They're dead. They got Kittle playing in Philly. Everyone's dead. And this week, everyone will get on San Francisco because they look good, and they'll just get throttled. Like it's just this game will be 20 plus.
20 plus?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
20. Actually, Seattle's only going to score like 23, so 23-3.
Seattle's another team, bro. You're going to have to push them. Because I'll tell you right now, the way they win this game is the exact way they beat them in week 18. run the football, let your running backs average 5+ yards per carry, which they did. I think one of them was 6.1, one of them was 4.6, but let them average over 5 yards a carry and just dominate the line of scrimmage, which is what they did in the last one. Birdwatch is going to beat
you ready
you
for
again.
you have your size ordered up yet for your jersey? Do you have the jersey size ready?
No, do you have your jersey size ready? We're not even there
just
yet.
worry about beating Carolina with your team.
Don't
God,
worry about it, okay? You
Carolina,
get your jersey.
you didn't even come. Where's this other? I forgot. What about this message?
Oh, actually, JDM me. And then he was very appreciative of his backpack. He was in the NFL chat. He added you. I don't think you realize it because half the time you don't see what people are saying, but he was saying you didn't send him any chewed up pens. You sent them some
he didn't deserve them. He
notepads,
was making fun of the pens.
some Tylenol.
I think there is a pen hidden in there somewhere. Maybe I was
some
putting
used
stuff
gum. You said there's some used gum in there and some gum wrappers.
Used gum. There's actual. It was my actual backpack. They went to it was all the like headphones, and I left it all in there.
He had some used headphones.
It wasn't an actual used piece of gum though. Like he could eat the gum that was in it.
I don't know.
It wasn't chewed gum. It was like it was a pack
there's
of
some
gum.
Gummies in there. He didn't say anything about.
There wasn't
gummies.
any. I didn't give those.
Yeah, Big T's like, I'm not letting those go,
go.
but no fucking way. Candy Cigs. Were there any Candy Cigs in there?
It was Terry Niehaus 9588. Is that the same Terry I know?
He's got no logo. That's all I know.
He had no logo. Yeah.
Got a Big T. Let's see here. I stopped that same. Okay, Houston, New England. I think this game is going to be what we all think it's going to be. This game's going to be knockdown, drag out. Who can get to 17, Big T? The winner, the team that gets the 17 is going to win. This game's going to end 17-13, 1 or 14, one way or another. That's what this game's doing. I'm going to probably take the Texans with the 3, but this game's going to be ugly. So
I don't even really get why is it a higher total than last week's? What I don't get, like why.
I think they're giving New England's offense a little more of a boost. They're giving a little more respect to Drake May, who was arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league this year and MVP.
Yeah.
I think they're giving him a little more respect, which they should. Honestly, they should. I mean, Texas defense is awesome.
Stinks. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Like Drake May's like mobile too. Like he gives way more problems to this Texan defense than Aaron Rodgers at 50 years old. Like Aaron Rodgers can't even move. He can't move.
I just don't see how Houston, like 41 just seems high.
It is high. I don't know how you don't take the under, but I'm sure everyone's going to bet the under.
I mean, for sure. Everyone's definitely going to bet the under, which always worries me. Like, there's just no way anyone's looking at this like I love the over. There's just no way.
Like, what are the sides that everyone's betting? I feel like everyone's betting the under in that game. Yeah. I feel like everyone's going to bet probably San Francisco with the 7 after.
I mean, I don't think any other like spot is like super clear. The one spot of the whole weekend for sure is this under. Like,
yeah.
I don't see any other spots that are because Chicago's a pretty public team. I mean, Seattle, San Fran's a 7-point spread. Denver, Buffalo's both sides. I mean, I think this is the only like clear cut public spot, which worries me because I like the under too, which I don't know. Maybe New England just scores a little on. Like you said, Drake May's way better than Rodgers, but everyone's better than that. I mean, Pittsburgh couldn't move the ball an inch. So, like, anything's better than that. But, yeah, that's my only worry is just how easy it looks. It looks so easy. The good part for me is I'm going to be on New England, too, and I really don't see how I lose both sides. It's one of those games. If I take New England and under, I feel pretty confident if it goes over that New England wins. So, like, I feel like worst-case scenario, I'm just splitting.
You'd have to think an over spot favors New England, right?
You would have to think, especially with Nico out. Man.
The thing with the Houston side, though, is like, I'll be honest, like, I didn't expect them. Woody Marks, like, kind of owned me. I did not expect them to run the football as good as they did against Pittsburgh. but they are not running the football against New England's the AFC version when they're fully healthy. Like they might get their nose tackle back, which is even better for the run game for them. But New England's almost the version of Seattle. Like Seattle's the best run defense by far, but New England is right there after them as like one of the best because these two teams, they don't have to load the box to stop the run. That's like massive when you don't have to load the box to be able to stop a team's run game. So that means that this game, Tony, Houston's offense is going to all depend on CJ Stroud. Last week, they got bailed out because the Steelers couldn't stop their run game at times. So CJ didn't, even though CJ made a lot of mistakes, the defense combined with the run game ended up winning them that game. They're going to need the defense plus probably CJ making a few big plays to win this game because I do not think they will be able to rely on that run game. So that's the thing. Can CJ make a couple plays downfield to win them this football game is going to be the
He's
key.
So bad. Like, so bad.
I mean, he was struggling to catch like the snaps at times. Like he was
There's
worried.
sometimes people get to the point like where you never know. Like even like JJ McCarthy, everyone makes fun of him. I haven't fully given up on him, even though I think he's kind of dead. But CJ Stroud is at that point for me where I just don't think I can. I just think he's bad. Like I think it's reached that point where I just don't think it can go the other way.
See, I don't disagree, but at the same time, like I think CJ is the easiest quarterback to kind of understand. If he has a clean pocket to step up in and throw the ball downfield.
Isn't that every quarterback though? Like if you got a clean pocket.
Some quarterbacks with a clean pocket will just start running. Like there are some quarterbacks that like CJ, when he can step up into the pocket and throw, like Caleb Williams, I want him more on the move. Like Caleb Williams on the move is dangerous, bro. Like CJ Stroud needs to be able to step up. He needs the interior pressure is what's going to give him issues. But if the Patriots don't get pressure, that's when CJ will probably make some plays. But if you get his feet moving quicker, if he starts worrying a little bit about the pressure, he's going to throw some ducks. He's going to throw some picks. So that's my take on CJ here. I think he can make all the throws. That offensive line is so bad that I worry about it a little bit. But the Patriots D line is the weakness from a pass rush. So we'll see who wins out. And then obviously I'm taking the Rams here against Chicago. But you never want to count out Chicago. Chicago to me is exactly what Washington was last year. They were the darling that, people just assume we're going to be kind of out and they, gave the Packers everything and won. And, I don't think they'll get clobbered by the Rams, but I think they're going to lose probably by like 10 plus, it's just tough.
I think it's the perfect matchup for the Rams. I think Seattle got the perfect matchup, and I think the Rams got the perfect.
Well,
matchup.
the Rams did get the perfect. If this was like in a dome, they'd win by 30. They literally would win by 30 because this is the best matchup. Chicago plays like the most man defense of anyone left in the playoffs, and Matthew Stafford, like teams don't want to play man against Matthew Stafford because of how good he is against that coverage. And the Bears play by far the most. And I don't think that's going to change. So they're going to give Stafford a lot of opportunities down the field to just smash. So
the one issue for the Rams, though, that we refuse to address is they're just not playing that good of football. Like they have not looked great the last 2 months. They've had some major stinkers in there. Yeah,
and I do think that, some of it is probably just like them getting to the end, Tony, and then all right, let's get to the playoffs. They're like one of those teams.
They stunk last week. They stunk. They were in the playoffs.
They stunk until Matthew Stafford was like, "Oh shit, we're about to lose this game. Let me just."
You do this this is what I deal with, people.
You don't.
Every time Seattle wins, it's like luck, and then when his Rams team grinds along, it's always like they just got a will to win.
So I got a question: does Josh Allen get this same hate? When Josh Allen gets behind in games and has to go into Josh Allen Superman mode,
He always loses. He always chokes. He'll probably choke this week too.
He choked last week. He didn't choke last week.
He won in the under 2 minutes.
He didn't choke against your Patriots team. He didn't choke. Like, he doesn't.
He'll choke soon enough, like he always does.
It's unbelievable, though. We don't bring up this every time it happens with Josh Allen. Everyone's mute about it. And then it's like Matthew Stafford. He does the same thing. He wills his team back with amazing drives at the end of games. And everyone's just like, well, he should have been up by 20. Okay, whatever. Like,
don't throw 19 balls that should be intercepted, and then you don't have to come back.
Yeah, your team put up 13 points against a San Francisco team that literally has no defense. And I'm listening to you talk bad about Matthew Stafford.
Just beat Carolina. That's all I want. Just beat Carolina. Like, I mean, not everyone gets to play Carolina.
I will say it did pull out like a perfect draw for this team, like getting the Bears, Carolina.
You got Carolina and then the Bears. Like,
if there was an NFL script, Tony, and I'm not saying there is, but if there was, you can't tell me that the script doesn't have Seattle and the Rams facing each other and the Patriots against the Bills. You can't tell me that's not the script. You can't tell me the script is not those two scenarios happening. And honestly, Tony, I don't want this to happen, but how does the script not having Drake May and Matthew Stafford MVP against MVP? Who's the real MVP? How is that not the script?
Yeah.
Josh Allen chokes, like you said.
I'm sure.
Josh Allen chokes in the AFC Championship game, and we get Drake May, who was the MVP, against Matthew Stafford MVP. If I was writing the script, Tony, that might be in it. Just saying, that might be in it.
Sam, this was luck, though. It's always luck. It was luck that they beat them.
It's unbelievable. That game will go down. That game will go down as the second craziest fucking game of all time to the Packers-Bears game that we just watched. That had to be the craziest game. It can't even be number one. Don't even get me started, Sam. Don't even get me started right now. All right. Let's dive into the DFS here, Tony. I got SaberSim up on screen. We'll go. You like position by position, so we'll go position by position for the slate. Let me just get the quarterbacks here. All right, so quarterbacks at the top. Obviously, Josh Allen is going to be the main guy, but the projection is not a normal Josh Allen projection, Tony. Giving a lot of respect to Denver, but I feel like Josh Allen's one of those quarterbacks. Like, the matchup, honestly, I don't take it in. Honestly, I like tougher matchups. I want you to tell me he gets behind, because that's when we get the best Josh Allen. When he's ahead, that means James Cook is cooking. That means the offense is just chugging along, owning time of possession. That's not going to give you the nut Josh Allen script for DFS purposes. That's going to give you like what this projection is, like 20. You know what I mean? And we don't want that if we're paying for Josh Allen. So you like Denver. I got to assume in a way that makes you kind of like Josh Allen for DFS, if you agree with what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily love him, but he definitely has the highest ceiling. The good part about this 4-game slate is I don't think I've ever seen a 4-game slate that has more equal ownership from quarterback because of the way it's priced. You got Josh Allen literally 1,500 more than guys that are super playable. And just looking at ownership projections in Saber, Run Pure, across the industry, literally everyone except Brock Purdy and CJ Stroud, and even them, is between 15 and like 7%, which is crazy. So that's like a normal regular season slate where you can take stands. And like, really, I know those are the two low-owned guys, Purdy and Stroud, but those are truly the two that there's no way I could play those two. But that's the same take everyone has. And this is what happens when we do shows. I mean, we do shows literally almost every day for the whole year. I feel like I get too close to the normal. I used to be way more contrarian with stuff and like have more contrarian takes, which I hate. I wish I had more of those on this slate. But like, I can't play those two guys. I can't play Brock Purdy at Seattle. I can't. I even said last week.
Can we also say the field has definitely gotten sharper?
Definitely. And like, it just even last week I played some Purdy. Like in Philly, I made reasons for him. I just don't see it this week. Not on this slate with the way things set up, and definitely not Stroud. I'd play Purdy before Stroud. But then after that, though, I mean, you made the case for Josh Allen, which everyone will agree with, the highest upside.
I don't think everyone's going to agree with it.
I think everyone will agree that he's got the highest upside for sure.
Oh, yeah, but not the other parts I was making.
Yeah,
Point.
I mean, but yeah, he's more expensive and he's got the highest. But the Stafford's next in the pricing line. He's clearly got 4 touchdown, 300 upside. Yeah, in the weather, wherever the weather will be a topic, but still a 48. And I know the totals come down a little, but still 48.5. Still a big total. Still a great matchup. Definitely can sling it. Drake May, he's the one that I would think would be the next like lowest behind, just in my head, not talking anything that's out there. I thought he'd be like the third lowest owned quarterback behind those other two, but he's kind of even in there. Like he's right in the mix for like right there with anyone at his ownership numbers, which is surprising to me. So versus this defense, I think you brought up good points talking about that game where, again, like we like the under. You talked about how much more he's going to be able to move and cause more issues. I thought he was the sneaky play last week, and I kind of think he's the sneaky play again this week. I don't want to play it, though. He's one of those guys like that. I don't want to play. I can't play it. But that's why I don't understand. I don't agree with the ownership. So, like, when I run the numbers, I don't even get close to that, really. So I feel like these might be he's got to come in single digits. There's no way he's not versus Houston's defense.
The problem is I don't think people want to play at least 3 quarterbacks on the slate. I don't think people want to play Brock Purdy. I don't think people want to play CJ. And I don't think people are going to want to play Sam Darnold, especially with him being questionable. I think if he was fully healthy, people might be able to make more of a case for Sam Darnold. But with him being questionable, so that takes 3 quarterbacks.
But the crazy part, first of all, I agree with you in the surface, but he's the highest projected of anyone, though, on multiple sites.
Who?
Sam Darnold.
Well, that's not going to be right. It's
his price, though. He's $1,700 cheaper, and his projection is the best point per dollar. So, like, it's just numbers.
I understand that, but
we always have this same conversation. We have our like football stuff. Everyone just runs numbers, though. Like he's gonna end up one of the higher ones because of that. Yeah. Which also makes it to where even though I love Seattle, I don't really have why would I play him over Bo Nix? And I'm the biggest Seattle guy there is out there right now. Why in the world would I play Sam Darnold over Bo Nix? There's 400 difference. There's literally no reason to play that. And the thing is, they're on the same days. So like, because there's obviously a Saturday slate, a Sunday slate, showdowns, all the different stuff, but they're even on the same Saturday slate where it's Bo and Darnold. I don't like, why in the world? Because the 5K guys, you got Bo, Purdy, Darnold, Stroud. I don't see how Bo Nix isn't by far the best quarterback option outside of maybe Josh Allen with the upside, obviously. But how am I not just playing Bo Nix at home versus Buffalo?
Well, few reasons. And I think, first of all, if we break this thing down to like the 2-game slates, Tony, I think the 2-game slates, it's clear as day the quarterbacks you want to play and the quarterbacks you don't want to play. And one is from one game and one is to not play in another game. It's the same thing on Sunday, in my opinion. But just talking about Bo Nix for a second, because you brought it up, why wouldn't you play Bo Nix? Well, I think there are some reasons, obviously, you like Bo Nix, but the way you beat the Buffalo Bills is you got to be able to run the football. We saw it. Everyone was talking about it after, how Jacksonville didn't run the football enough, and maybe it cost them the game. They were having a ton of success. Tootin was killing them on the ground, and they kind of just still went away from it. Maybe they needed to lean into it more. I wonder if the Broncos are going to try and lean into that more specifically. But when you look at the numbers, passing numbers, it's really interesting for both these teams when you kind of break it down. Like, these two teams are giving up very few passing yards. Their defenses are really tough in terms of like receiver yards given up and stuff like that. Overall, the Bills have been really good. against receivers, and so have the Broncos. And obviously, you know, that might lean into more. Maybe Bo Nix has to use his feet. I do think that's a key for Bo Nix and how he could get there. I actually do like that a lot, but I think it's going to be the Denver running game against Josh Allen at the end of the day. And I do agree with you. Like in the 5Ks, Bo Nix is the best quarterback, but I might not want those quarterbacks in the 5K. I might just go the upper tier here because I don't even think it's a question. Like Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, Caleb Williams, those are the 3 best quarterbacks on the slate. I think Bo Nix is 4. That's how I'd rank them. And I don't know if I want to play anyone other than those 3. Caleb Williams, we've seen the Rams secondary. It's by far the weakness of this defense. And the one thing about the Bears offense that's interesting, like Carolina, they don't take a ton of like shots. They're very kind of like safe offense in a way. They want to run the football and stuff. The Bears, they're the opposite. Like when they throw the ball, they want to attack you down the field. That's why Caleb Williams is like hit or miss, Tony, because a lot of times he's trying to make the big plays. So he'll have first halves against Green Bay where they do nothing, and then they'll have the second half where you're like, oh, where'd this offense come from? But it's because like Caleb Williams is making those big plays to move the chains, to get them down the field quickly and finish. And that's one thing I do think the Rams will give up some are these big plays down the field. They lose another cornerback, which is huge, in Witherspoon. So, I mean, I think, you know, Caleb is going to have some big plays. Can they finish those drives is the question. They struggled against Green Bay, finishing those drives, especially in the beginning of the game in the first half. If they do finish those drives and convert, Caleb's going to score a good amount of fantasy points, I think. I think Matthew Stafford's going to have an advantage because I said the Bears play a ton of man, and that's what I want Matthew Stafford to face a majority of the game. And the Bears are going to play like half the game in man coverage if they do anything close to what they've been doing recently. So, I think Matthew Stafford's going to have a good game. And Josh Allen, like I said, you know, if you get him in that nut script, he's going to smash. So those are the 3 guys I want in DFS. And I'm trying to not make the mistake like you were talking about with Brock Purdy. Like I look at Brock Purdy and I'm like, yeah, like I can understand it. But at the same time, I'm like, why? Brock, like, why? Why am I doing that against Seattle? You know, even if I like the 49ers, why am I even doing that for DFS purposes here? I just don't need to. CJ, the same thing. It's like, CJ, you can easily double stack CJ if Nico's out. That they're going to be cheap double stacks, but it's like, why am I playing CJ? Like, I don't need to do that to myself. Give me the guys that have 30-point plus upside. Those are the 4 guys clearly for me. And I think the top 3 are by far the best.
Yeah. I mean, we'll definitely disagree at quarterback.
Yo, Caleb is Jameis on steroids. He kind of is, but he also has the wheels, but he kind of is in a way. He's just like a gunslinger, and that's Ben Johnson's offense anyways. So you disagree with me on quarterback? You don't think those 3 guys are by far the best?
Oh, yeah.
So who's your 3? Who do you got?
Bo 1.
Oh, Bo 1. Okay.
Darnold 2.
I will say my favorite prop on the slate is a Bo Nix prop. I'll give it out at the end of the show.
Bo, Darnold, Drake May are my top 3.
Bo, Darnold. Oh my God. Bo, Darnold, Drake May. You don't even have Allen or Stafford in your top 3?
Negative.
Okay. That's some bias right there. That's some bias, chat. I'm just saying
Negative.
it right now.
I'll take my 5K guys that are going to score the same amount of points. Yes.
That's bad. All right. Whatever. Big T.
I think Bo is like far and away the number 1 for me too. Like he'll be in my core. Bo, like by a landslide, is my number 1. Bo will definitely be on my main team.
The one I can understand. That's the one quarterback out of all of them in the 5Ks.
The one thing I like about Darnold, though, outside and totally take my Seattle feelings out of it,
Yeah, please.
I love the double stacks I can do with him. Like, I love the double stacks. I love the bring back with McCaffrey and like another weapon. I love how it aligns with the prices the way it is, which is a reason I think it'll be popular, which is another reason that I'll play Bo over Darnold, because I do think Darnold will end up the highest owned quarterback. Just the way it lines up. Everyone wants to play JSN. You got Cooper Kupp in the 3Ks that people will want to play. I just think it aligns.
Yeah, Jeff, I agree. Big T's going to lose so much. I don't want him to lose money, but he's going to lose
spell
money.
Criminal right if you're going to make fun of me, Jeff Coley.
I don't know what the ODB is going on. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. ODB, we miss him. He's been playing a lot of poker.
Miss you, ODB.
Miss you, buddy. ODB looks like Big T today. Dub KJ says weird. Yeah, it's weird.
KJ, you got better than that. Come on. You got better than that. Usually, but you got better. Come on.
All right. So quarterback, we disagree. We are on different islands at quarterback. Maybe we can come together at running back. I doubt it, though, because I feel like quarterback kind of sets us up for the rest of the positions, and I feel like we're going to be going in different paths. But maybe we can align here at running back. And I do have to say, the Christian McCaffrey thing, that's not going to shock me. When Christian McCaffrey's on a slate, Tony, he's going to get ownership. It doesn't matter his price tag. He's Christian McCaffrey. At the end of the day, who's got more upside than Christian McCaffrey at running back? There just is no one else that does, honestly. Now, I will say, Christian McCaffrey's been held under 20 points in only a handful of games. Seattle is one of them in week 18. But like I said, there was no Trent Williams in that game. He still had 7 targets in the passing game, but only 8 rushing attempts for 23 yards, Tony. I mean, that's by far one of the worst. And you can even go back to the early weeks where they couldn't run the football at all. And they were throwing it a lot, but he was still doing better than that. I mean, 8 rushes, they just completely went away from the ground game. Obviously, their offense couldn't do much. So I'll be interested to see your take, because I know you like Seattle, and I know you like them by a decent margin. So is this a slate where maybe you could possibly fade McCaffrey at 8,800, or do you still like him?
I mean, you can definitely fade him at 8,800, but I mean, the other points are, I mean, he's just got such a big floor, such a big ceiling, and you definitely don't have to play him, though. I want that to be clear. But he's going to be high owned on short slates. I always really struggle to fade the McCaffrey types, even though I love Seattle. It's just really hard to fade his volume. I mean, he just is going to get so much work in the pass game, so much work in the ground game. He's going to get all the red zone looks. It's a handful to keep him under 20. I mean, if you play great defense, he still might get 20 just on pure volume. So again, you're going to have to, you start looking at, just pull the receivers into this topic too real quick. I mean, you got Puka at 9K, McCaffrey 8,800, JSN 8,500. Those are your 3 spend ups. I mean, it's an interesting topic because they're all just beasts. I love Puka's matchup. I love JSN's matchup, and I don't like McCaffrey's matchup. So, I mean, it just really pushes you in different directions. The difference is, though, receiver has a ton of cheap options, which we'll get to receiver in a minute. I don't want to go too many different directions. Running back, however, there are guys you can play. I mean, like you said, Seattle, I do think Seattle wants to attack through the ground just like last time. Charbonnet scores every freaking time, every game. 2 times you called it last time they played the Rams or whoever it was. Scored twice. Kenny Walker's got upside. They're in the 5Ks, but I don't know. I just never love playing them. I do think that's how Seattle attacks, though. That's always my problem with Seattle. And because I'm playing Bo Nix, I probably should play a Seattle guy with the way I think that game goes, like probably Charbonnet, just because he always scores. I just don't like Charbonnet, but it does make sense, though. He's 5,300. It just makes sense. The other guy, though, even though I want to play Bo, I have to play RJ Harvey. I just think he's in a great spot at 6,200. I look around. So let's just go down the list because this is what we do on 4Gamers. We talk about everything. James Cook, I do like. I think you attack Denver, but Denver's line is so good. James Cook screwed me last week. I think Jacksonville and Denver are a pretty similar matchup. I like James Cook, but he's a lot like McCaffrey. I don't have to have him. I'm fine taking him. I'm fine taking McCaffrey. I like them both, but I don't have to have it. Kyren's the one I don't love just because Corum got more work than I thought last week. I thought they would kind of go away from Corum. I was wrong about that take. Corum got a lot of high-value carries. I really would rather play the Rams passing game than these Rams guys than the Rams running backs this week. So I'm kind of off the Rams guys. The Bears, Swift and Monangai, similar. The two guys, we have all these one-back systems this week. Granted, there's a few guys that'll get a few carries, but mainly one-back guys. Why am I going to the two-back teams? Why am I playing New England? Ramondre, even though Ramondre kind of separated a little bit, I don't want to play Ramondre or Travion against Houston, so they're gone. Corum and Kyren are kind of gone. Swift and Monangai are kind of gone. That leaves McCaffrey, Cook, Harvey, Woody Marks, who I kind of think Woody Marks is somewhat sneaky, even though I like New England. That's one way they could attack New England, I think. Even though I know New England's really good against the run. I just kind of think they might need to get him more involved. It is a tough matchup, so I don't love that either, the more I talk about it. But and then one of the Seattle guys, and I think someone won the Millie or the 500K last time we did these slates, where with Kenny and Charbs was the two running backs, actually, which isn't a horrible idea, talking about it out loud. If I think San Fran gets killed by Seattle, I know Seattle doesn't really want to throw that much with Darnold. I think running back like McCaffrey's somewhat expensive. If you play Kenny and Charbs, it might let you get up to Puka and JSN. Could be a way to go, but to totally summarize it, I like McCaffrey. He's expensive, but I like him a lot. Cook, I like okay. Kyren off. Harvey, I love. Harvey's my favorite. So that's kind of weird, right? Bo Nix is my favorite quarterback. RJ Harvey's my favorite running back, but that's just clearly my favorites, which means I have to take Denver. If that's the way I feel, I have to take Denver in this spot. And then after that, I like Woody. I don't like any of the two running back systems except for Seattle. I do think Kenny and Charbs, I think one of them for sure is on the winner, if not both of them at these price points.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go through all the backfields here real quick. Shout out
Who's this
to
guy?
shout out to, I was just going to say, I don't know who that is, but shout out to Daniel from Cancun, Niehaus. I don't know if you know a Niehaus, aka Daniel, but need some winners other than all these damn soccer games here in Mexico. Big TJSU, share some knowledge. Let's fucking go. Love that, Daniel. I don't know who that is, but maybe Tony could shed some light on that later. Big D. All right. So running through these backfields, Tony. First, the Bears. You saw a pretty close to a split. It didn't heavily lean Swift in any way. 39 and 35 snaps a piece for these guys, 50 and 45%. Monangai still eating in, even though it's the playoffs and meaningful stuff. They're still pretty much going drive to drive, Tony, with those two guys. The routes run were almost identical, 22 for Swift, 20 for Monangai, 13 carries for Swift, 8 for Monangai. So a little edge there for Swift, but not by a big margin here. Interesting you brought up the Rams. I definitely thought the Rams were going to get a heavier dose of Kyren. And we kind of did a little bit when you look at the snaps, 64% to 36% for Kyren to Corum. But Corum still got 8 rushing attempts to Kyren 16. And the routes run were almost even, 13 to 11. So we did get a little, I think, lengthen to Kyren here, but not as much as we thought. I thought it was going to be heavy Kyren. And it definitely, Corum still got some work in big spots, like you said. The Seahawks thing. So I had to go back and look at this because I've been talking about the Charbonnet thing for weeks now. I never understood. We were getting plus money on his touchdown odds for weeks. Kenny Walker was going in best ball ahead of Charbonnet, which I never understood. So I had to go back and look at this, Tony. So when was the last time Kenneth Walker got a rushing or a snap inside the 5-yard line? When was the last week Kenny Walker got? I looked at it. I looked this up. Okay. The last time he got a snap was week 14. Week 14, he got a snap or 2 snaps inside the 5. Since then, from week 15 on, week 15 to week 18, they've had 10 snaps inside the 5. Zach Charbonnet has been on the field for every single snap inside the 5. That just kills Kenny Walker's upside a little bit right there. That's just telling you that he needs to break off a long one. Like that's the way he gets there. He needs to break off a long one. And then I was looking at routes run, and Charbonnet is still winning in that category. He's winning the routes run in these weeks, these last couple weeks, ahead of Kenneth Walker. And I think Kenneth Walker is a pretty damn good pass catcher, Tony. I don't know about you. I think he's a pretty damn good pass catcher. And Zach Charbonnet is actually running more routes. So it's kind of weird in that way. But I could see the way Seattle wins, a dominant way they win, is with both of these running backs kind of smashing. So if you do think they win by a lot, I don't know if that necessarily means Sam Darnold. I think it could mean both these running backs have good days. I think Kenneth Walker could break off a long one. Zach Charbonnet could get a short one or two, and that's kind of how they smash and get over here, especially in the receiving game. I like both these. I think Sam Darnold's going to check down more. I think San Francisco is going to try and keep everything in front of them, stop JSN, and I think that leads to more checkdowns. And honestly, with Sam Darnold's injury, if he's actually injured, I think he's going to want to get the ball out quick. That could lead to more just naturally checkdowns to those guys if they're trying to take away JSN. So I like the reception prop over for Kenneth Walker too. Another little bet I like. You can get almost like plus 200 for 3 receptions for Kenneth Walker, which is kind of interesting to me. And even Zach Charbonnet, I think he can get over the 1.5 reception line. So yeah, don't hate those guys. The best running back though is definitely RJ Harvey. And I agree with you. He's probably in the best spot to smash here. I don't like Woody Marks against New England. I just refuse to play a running back against New England. They're so good. They're right up there with Seattle. Like if Seattle weren't playing Christian McCaffrey and they were playing almost any other running back in the league, it'd be like an easy fade for me because that's how good Seattle's run defense is. They're just so dominant. But Christian McCaffrey's he's used like differently. He's just different. So he's still in play, but I definitely like RJ. I think the interesting spot that I want to sell myself on would be one of these Bears running backs, but it kills me that it's like a complete split. I wish one of them would take off and kind of be the winner. So since we don't have that, I think my favorites are like RJ, CMC, and then the Seattle guys, I think would be my next one. As crazy as that is to say, I think that's how they win. And so maybe playing one of these Seattle guys and hoping that one of them gets there is the path. And I definitely lean Charbonnet as my favorite, but I think Kenny Walker's the more explosive guy in the run game. So I don't know if that matters though at Seattle, like, because they just seem to just do their thing, Tony, which is my issue. And they right now like Charbonnet more.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to argue. I don't personally like Charbonnet more, but I've learned my lesson after so many weeks. Like the last 2 weeks, which they had to win 18 carries, 17 carries, all the goal line, all the red zone work. He scores all the time. I mean, 12 touchdowns on the year. You just got to be willing to adjust. And I don't like Charbonnet as a player. But I love the matchup. I think Seattle blows out San Fran. So how could I not like Charbonnet and Walker for that matter, as you say? If I think Seattle kills them like I do, how do I not like these two? I have to. So I agree.
Yeah, that's kind of like and I'll throw James Cook in there because I do think like if you're playing Bo Nix, I think you should have a sprinkle of James Cook because the way kind of Josh Allen fails, but they still score and Bo Nix can keep moving the football is James Cook, So I wouldn't forget. So those are the 5 running backs though that are I think in my pool that I'm gonna play. I don't think I'm gonna play Kyron as much. I think it's gonna be more of a Stafford game, but that's kind of what I'm leaning to right now. Any other takes with these guys? I don't see how you can really play much of the below 5K running backs.
Yeah, I mean, some slates, I definitely think you can get creative. This is not a slate where you can get creative, I don't think. I mean, Cook and McCaffrey, huge upside at the top, plenty of other plays that we discussed. I mean, there's no reason to – the craziest I would get would just be like playing a Ramondre Stevenson or something. Like, I'm not going to do it personally, but that would
And
be
he's
like
5,800. He's
yeah.
not. He's up there.
I don't really see a reason to. Like, there's some of these guys are going to crush. Boss Bro says New England running backs fade. I don't really see a reason to play them against Houston. Not on this slate. Doesn't mean they can't get there. I just don't see it. I don't see a reason to dive into that.
Yeah, in another spot where, I mean, Ramondre, this is great. So Travion Henderson and Ramondre almost split the rushing attempts in last week's wild card game. So that's good for Travion, but Ramondre dominated him in the routes run. They just want Ramondre out there more because they trust him in the pass blocking stuff too. But 23 routes out of 40 for Ramondre, only 7 routes run for Travion. 57% to 17. That kind of sucks for Travion's upside. So I agree with Tony. I think I'd prefer Ramondre just because he's out there more. You know what I mean? He's going to get more chances to break a big play or something like that in the passing game. And I do think Drake May is going to check the ball down because the way the Patriots win this game is I think they're telling Drake May probably just don't make the mistakes. Just get the ball out. You don't need to make the big plays. Make the easy plays. Make them have to tackle. Get 3rd and short. Do that stuff. If we have to punt or kick a field goal, it's not the end of the world. And I do think we see more check downs out of him, but I think that leads more Stevenson. So I agree with Tony. If I had to pick one, it would be Stevenson, but I'm probably not going to attack Houston myself. I just don't know why I want to do that. But if I did, it would be with Stevenson. Let's go to the receiver position now, Tony, here. Puka Nacua, obviously going to be one of the most popular guys. 9K. He's 55% owned right now on Sabre, which is interesting. You got JSN just under him at 45%, Tony. And you can make the case that those have been the 2 best fantasy receivers this year. Those 2 guys. I mean, JSN 1, Puka Nacua right next to him, like 1A or 2, however you want to, 1A, 1B or 2, however you want to rank them. But those have been the 2 best guys for fantasy. What are we doing at the top with those 2?
It's more of a decision for me with the 3 putting McCaffrey in it. I know that like makes it simplified, but you really can't play 3 of them. I don't even know if you literally can play 3 of them without like getting super creative. So you got to pick which 1 or 2 you want of the 3. And Puka is for sure number 1 for me of above McCaffrey, above JSN. I mean, it's just got to be Puka all day in that 1 spot. But I do think it could go any of the 3 ways. I mean, they're all so like if San Fran scores on Seattle, it's not how I think it'll go. But if San Fran can put up points, it's going to be JSN and McCaffrey probably, which would get Puka out. It's just a tough decision. I honestly should look at, is there any type of build where you can play? I don't think there is where you could play 3 of them. Just kind of looking at it, you would have to get just crazy creative and play 2 tight ends probably would be the build like we have talked about plenty, where you play two cheap tight ends or something. That might not be the worst route to go though. You get all kinds of ups. I always tend to go that way where you play these stud guys that have 20-point floors and 40, 50-point ceilings. Puka's definitely number one for me, though. JSN probably number 3, honestly, with the way we think that game go. McCaffrey number 2. But they're all 3 just awesome plays. And I think McCaffrey's the safest, even ahead of Puka, just because of rush game, pass game, touchdowns, everything. But, man, it's a tough call for me between the 3 of them, which means if you could somehow find a build where you get all 3 of them, I do think it provides you definitely like cash game viability too, just because of how much ceiling you have. You just have so much ceiling. But just to talk about receiver overall, you do have a bunch of cheap options, which again kind of pushes me to McCaffrey. I don't want to play McCaffrey against Seattle, but it's kind of just roster construction, how it points you that way. It makes it tough to not do it because of that. So Buffalo, we don't like Shakir. Brandon Cooks just feels overpriced to me at 4K. Keon Coleman, I'm not going to like. You can play Josh Allen with tight ends or just naked Josh Allen easily. So I'm not going to like Buffalo receivers. Denver's a spot I'm definitely going to like. Cortland Sutton, obviously because I like Bo Nix too, so I have to like Denver just overall. But it's their prices more than anything. Sutton will be the guy like up top, but Pat Bryant's the one I like. 3,900. I just love that price point. And Marvin Mims at 3,400 is like a dart, unowned throw. King of the end zone if it's back. Let's run it back last year with Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims. I don't like Franklin because he's 4,900. That's too expensive. But Mims and Franklin are going to literally be unowned. You need some differentials in your lineups. You can't just go in and just play like the dead obvious stuff. And I could definitely see a spot where you overstack the Buffalo game. Yeah, I think the Rams score, but we got other things that could happen, weather, different things. Don't love the New England game. Seattle's defense is nasty. I don't see a reason we can't just kind of overstack this Denver spot a ton and just shove pieces in there and see what happens. Because if Denver gets a lead and Buffalo has to start scoring and stuff, like you could just see it. Just like the Jacksonville game where you just see points go. So I love the Denver receivers all the Denver spots are my favorite spots. It's not tight end, definitely not tight end. I take that back. But the 3 spots we've talked about are there. San Fran, I'm going to let you play Ricky P. That's your boy. I'm going to be off.
Don't you start putting words in my mouth. Just
I'm going to let you enjoy
Stay
Ricky
on track
P.
with your shit, okay? Play fucking Cooper Cup, okay? Stay on track with
play Cooper Cup.
I mean, he kind of looks like you too. Sam Darnold, Big T, Cooper Cup. Get them all together. Who's who?
So stupid. But
you really do look like Sam Darnold. I'm not kidding.
JSN, obviously. And then you got guy. I mean, like Cooper Kupp's going to be 20% owned. This is another reason I get the stacks, the Darnold stacks, and I love it just makes more sense to me to play the ground game, which kind of gets me off JSN a little bit too. I like JSN. It's impossible not to, but if I have to play him over McCaffrey or Puka or both of them, I just struggle with it. So I think Cooper Kupp will be popular. He hasn't been good all year. I don't really see a reason why he would be good this week. Again, unless San Fran pushes them. If San Fran somehow pushes them, I think Seattle will be the winner if they can score on Seattle. I think San Fran in this game will be the winner, but I just don't see it. It's a lot like last week where we're like, if Pittsburgh can somehow score on Houston, maybe you get the back and forth a little bit or what we're just reaching. You're like reaching for something you don't need. Yeah. So I just don't see it. I don't love these guys, but the prices are nice. I mean, Rashid Shaheed, 4,200. He hasn't got there. As many weeks as you gone against Seattle as many weeks as I've played Shaheed. Seattle's never lost for you, and Shaheed's never got there for me. So I struggle. I'm sure by Sunday I'll be back on Shaheed because I'm a sucker. But I don't think he just doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. So Houston side with Nico out. Christian Kirk crushed last week. I'm not playing Houston, guys. It's going to be hard for me to play Houston or San Fran besides McCaffrey. It's hard for me to get on those teams in these spots. New England, Diggs let me down last week, and this week he's got another tough matchup. I'm going to struggle to play New England guys. Maybe you can sell me on Diggs again, but I'm kind of burnt on him a little bit. The Rams, it's just Puka. Like, I don't really want to play Devontae. Yeah, he can get touchdowns. It's Puka, though. I want to play Puka. So Puka. And then the Bears, Luther Burden, I guess. But, man, their receivers don't. So I don't have that many receivers I like. Really, it's Denver and the studs for me.
Yeah, so I have the similar Pat Bryant take
Who
that you
runs a
had.
faster mile, Big T or Darnold?
I'm taking Sam Darnold. Are you
I
kidding
mean,
me?
I'm sure I'd hope so. He's an NFL quarterback. Even if
Well,
he looks
have you seen
non-athletic.
Tom Brady run? That don't mean shit. That
I'm
don't mean
taking
shit.
Tom
Peyton
Brady
Manning?
over me, too, for the record.
Peyton Manning? You're taking Peyton Manning over
I'm
yourself?
taking any of those professional
Oh,
athletes
boy.
over me. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, boy.
I'm taking me plus 4 minutes over Mr. Peter Christensen, though. I'll tell you that.
So Pat Bryant actually, Denver offense has been just weird because I feel like it's fluctuated a ton. If you look at the early numbers in the year to the later numbers in the year, because early in the season, Troy Franklin was running a lot of the slot, and that's kind of flipped. And now it's been Pat Bryant recently who's been running a ton out of the slot, edging Troy Franklin out in snaps too on top of it, which wasn't that way in the beginning or in routes run too. So yeah, I want kind of to avoid the outside corners because the outside corners for Buffalo have been good. They've been pretty good. I want to get actually both teams. I'm trying to avoid the outside stuff. So I do think attacking the slot for both these guys is probably a sound way to go. So Pat Bryant, Shakir, who just absolutely owned me last week and got all that just like slop bullshit 5-yard catches and just owned me with 12 catches or whatever he had. I wouldn't shock me if Josh Allen threw him 12 balls again just because they don't have anyone. They literally, I mean, they made Tyrell Shavers play the second half of a football game with a torn ACL. That's because they didn't have anyone. That's literally that's crazy. By the way, that's not talked about enough. How is that not one of the most craziest things we've seen all year? They made Tyrell Shavers, who left in the first half with an torn ACL, play the second half. And he played like a good amount too in the second half. It wasn't like he played 3 snaps. They made him play like most of the second half with a torn ACL. Is that not crazy, Tony? Isn't that wild?
I mean, you know the injuries more than me. I'm assuming if they just told him like you're not doing any like cutting stuff, just go out and run fade route. I honestly don't know. You know more of this stuff than me.
I'm just saying like
that's crazy. I agree. It's
were
crazy.
At
what
receiver.
kind of routes did he run though? I'm curious now. Was it all like just straights?
I mean, you have to think he wasn't running anything. Like he wasn't doing much cutting or anything like that, but he was still like pass blocking. Like, dude, someone could just roll up on your knee like that. Like, I don't know.
The good
like,
thing is you can't hurt it worse though, right? Once it's torn, right?
I mean,
or
it's torn, but it ain't gonna feel great. I'm sure they tried to numb it up. Yeah. I'm sure they tried to numb it up as best they could.
I mean, I agree with you overall. I'm just saying, like, yeah. I mean,
he was blocking a lot, but I'm just saying
he didn't do anything. Like, believe me, I played him because he was my punt guy. He did nothing, so he could have been on the field, but they didn't even look his way.
Oh, he was on the field, bro. He was definitely on the field. That's wild though. Respect the Tyrell Shavers. That's toughness right there. But yeah, I agree with the Pat Bryant stuff. I like him. I'm struggling with. I'm probably not going to play JSN because of my biases, maybe a little bit. But they did a pretty good job limiting them, and I'm kind of leaning more into the run game with Seattle. I fully believe like that's the way they're going to win this game is those running backs. So I'm trying to lean more into that. I think Juwan Jennings is a tough play against Seattle. They've been pretty good there. I like Luther Burden. I think I'm going to go back to him because of the coverage here with the Rams. It kind of sets up well for someone like Luther Burden to, I think, have a chance at some big plays down the field. Like I said, I still want to attack the Rams secondary. I still want one or two guys that can, attack their secondary. So I want someone like Luther Burden. And don't forget, like Caleb missed them on some big plays down the field. They were there to be had, and Caleb just kind of missed them on one. And I think Burden messed up on another one. Caleb was pissed, but Yeah, he's a guy I definitely want to play. I don't like what I'm hearing about Rome, how he's just playing through this stress fracture too. He played a lot, but it sounds like he's just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to play until the wheels fall off." That doesn't sound very great to me, Tony. It doesn't sound like it's feeling that great, but he's just toughing it out. So I'm probably not going to play Rome here. It'd probably be Luther or DJ. I'm going to lean Luther, but I could play DJ too, just depending. I want Devontae Adams. That's 6,500 Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams has killed man coverage this year. He's been absolutely awesome against man coverage. And like I said, with the Bears, they're running pretty much, I think, one of the highest amounts of man coverage recently and in the playoffs left. These teams, I think they're top in man coverage. Yeah, 54% man coverage. The second highest was Pittsburgh at 40, and then it drops down to 32 with San Francisco last week. So they've been playing man coverage for a lot of the back half of the year. Against the Lions game, they did it. They got ripped up. I think Devontae Adams, he was quiet last game, Tony. This could be a big Devontae 2-touchdown type of game here for Mr. Adams. And I like the matchup with him. And then, after that, Shakir, I'm okay with. I kind of agree with your Cooks thing. The problem with Buffalo is they just don't have anybody. Like, they literally don't have guys. Like, they might have to activate Curtis Samuel. He's 3,200. He can make a big play. If Curtis Samuel is active and he's going to play, I would keep him in the pool just because I'm not playing Keon Coleman. So I would Curtis Samuel or Cooks. I think one of these guys is going to have to make a big play or two down the field. So I'm not going to take them out of my pool. I'm definitely not playing Cooper Kupp at ownership. That's crazy. That's just crazy to me. I'd rather take a shot on a Houston receiver that's not going to be owned, just like one, because CJ's going to have to throw the ball. It's a pass funnel spot. They're not going to be able to run the football on the Patriots. So CJ's going to have to throw. So, and I do think with Nico most likely getting ruled out at some point, that gives Jaden Higgins the biggest bump. But the guy who's set up the best is probably Christian Kirk again to make a few big plays, move the chains, set you up, and he's 4,100. But one of those two guys, either Higgins or Kirk, would be my preferred targets for Denver here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at receiver. Not like a ton of strong takes at receiver, but I do think there are some better spots. I'm going to lean into more the Rams Chicago game and the Bills Denver game. I think those are the clear two best spots to pick these receivers from. So that's what I'm going to do. I mean, if I have to play Cortland Sutton at 5,900, Tony, even in a tough matchup, I'm okay with it. He's still good. He can win tough matchups.
Yeah, I mean, his price is good. It's all that matters. Like, sometimes the matchup isn't, and honestly, I feel a little bit this way about Cooper Kupp too. I don't love it, but it's just price. Like, price dictates 50. I don't like Sutton. 5,900 though is cheap for the spot, and he's going to get good workload. He's still a receiver one. Sometimes you play spots you don't love just because of the price. It's just
like, why would I play Troy Franklin when I can just get 1,000 more to Sutton? Like,
the only flip it all though, always is that's how like you really solo ship something is just
true.
To play Franklin, but it's a stupid play. So that's kind of where I've gotten more like chalky over the years, because you just learn that if you play the Franklin every time, you're going to lose a lot of times. And then one time
it's just that one time you hit. Yeah, it's just that one time you hit. So
and it gets frustrating when you're just burnt. Like when Sutton gets like 20 and Franklin gets 4, and you would have won like if you had Sutton, but you wouldn't have. You just like you feel like an idiot. So like I stopped doing that for them unless I have true conviction, which I don't.
Yeah, I agree. And like on the 2-game slate, I'm not going to nix him out on a 2-game slate because I'm going to lean into that game.
Definitely more than 2-game slate for sure.
No, definitely more. Tight end position, Tony. I mean, last up to kind of talk about here. I talked about why I didn't love the Rams tight ends last game, and I felt like it kind of held true. I know Colby Parkinson caught that touch. That, by the way, amazing throw and catch where he scored on that touchdown. But they didn't really do a ton else. Tyler Higbee had one play down the seam that was pretty nice. It was kind of a busted coverage. Matt hit him for a nice game. But outside of those two plays, they didn't do a ton else. I think, though, with Terrence Ferguson back and in this matchup against Chicago, where I'm going to guarantee you something right now, McVay is going to find a way to get these linebackers matched up in a mismatch with some of these guys. He's going to get Puka on a linebacker or Terrence Ferguson down. Like he's going to attack those guys because they're weak. They're weak. They lost another backer. Their defense is hurt. The secondary is getting a little healthy with Gardner Johnson back, but the linebackers, I think that McVay is going to really attack them, and he's going to use these tight ends. So I think we go back to seeing a lot of 13 here in this game, and I think that bodes well for one or two of these tight ends, and maybe that leans into the point of maybe I want to play double tight ends on this slate here. Maybe this is a slate where I can play it because Colston Loveland's a stud, absolute stud. He's amazing. Play him. He's a great play. I don't love Hunter Henry, but I also think Hunter Henry, out of all the receiving options, has the best matchup. If you just look at the last 5 weeks, Houston's been giving up a decent amount of production to the tight ends. It's top 6, I think, in fantasy points given up to the tight end position. Dalton Schultz, when no Nico Collins on the field, I expect him to maybe get a volume bump. You can make a case for a lot of these tight ends here. And then one of my favorite is actually this Jake Tonjes dude. Every time he gets a role, he produces, man. Every time they give him this no George Kittle role, I feel like he does really well. So I think he's an interesting play here at 3,400. Tyler Higbee at 32, Terrence Ferguson at 27. That's kind of I want that Rams game pretty much, and then I like Tonjes and Barner from the Seattle San Francisco side. That's kind of what I'm looking at tight ends. I think the worst spots are Evan Ingram against the Bills. The Bills have been awesome against tight ends. I wouldn't play Evan Ingram against the Bills, and I'm probably gonna be lower on the Houston New England game, even though I could see a Schultz volume game there. What do you think at tight end?
Yeah, Tonjes. Tonjes. How you say it? Tonjes.
I think it's Tonjes, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, Tonjes. Tongs. I always want to say Tongs. Tonjes. He's going to be really chalky, I think, and for good reason. San Fran knows how to use the tight ends. He looks talented. Even though I like Seattle, he's my favorite pass catching option from San Francisco ahead of the receivers. Actually behind McCaffrey still though, just because I think they really go to Tonjes and McCaffrey in the pass game a lot. But the guy, there's no way I'm fading Colston Loveland. He is just an absolute monster. He's right there with Bo Nix. The dude just, 10, 13, and 15 the last 3 weeks, working its way up, all in games that were games they wanted to play well in. So, just like you said, Rome's injured. It's just Loveland, man. And he's just, there's no way I'm fading it. Even now he's priced up again at 5,500. There's just no way I'm not playing him. So then it comes down to, you want to play 2 tight ends, and it is definitely viable for me. And the guy that I want to play, because it fits my short slate strategy and it fits the slate, is Cade Stover at 2,500. Stone minimum, Houston down Nico, dump offs, and it's that price point, the 2,500 price point. He was on the field. He got some targets last week, even with Nico. I just think he's a really great play at no ownership, and the price breaks that get me up to the McCaffreys and the JSNs and the Pukas and the all and the Colston Lovelands for that matter. It gets you up to all the spend ups I want. And I think he's a really, really good play at 2,500. I love Cade Stover, but there's a lot of good tight end plays. Dalton Schultz, I think, could volume his way, just like you said. Hunter Henry could catch 2 touchdowns. I don't love Hunter Henry either, but he could catch 2 touchdowns in this matchup pretty easy. He's
That's
done
like
it
a
plenty of
bet
times.
I honestly would want to
Yeah.
bet, because I
If
do
New England
think
scores, I mean, he's got to be like the favorite outside of the ground game to
him or
catch it.
Austin Hooper catches. If Drake May's throwing multiple touchdowns, I would bet a lot of money that Austin Hooper or Hunter Henry's catching 1 or 2 of them.
And Austin Hooper's another 2,500 guy. Like I want to include
way more
Hooper
than
and
Cade
Stover.
Stover. I like him way more than Cade Stover. He can actually catch a touchdown.
What? Stover can't catch a touchdown?
Like the Patriots use their tight ends though in the red zone more than Houston does.
Yeah.
Now maybe without Nico, that's different, but
that's another build though. Like I love just leaning into weird builds on short slates. Like what about a build? Again, I haven't built any like it. What if you play 2,500 tight ends and play the 3 studs and it'll let you get up to other guys? Like those are the builds. When you put $20 in or 25, whatever it is this week into the millie, there's nothing wrong with building teams like that. Just make yourself play those 2 and then just play whoever you want in these other spots. And what if both of them catch a touchdown and both of them you get 10 or something like? But the problem with that is you're not playing Loveland. I want to play Loveland. So I like Hooper, though. I like Hooper with you. I'm with both those guys. I like both those guys a ton. And then you got the Buffalo guys, Kincaid, who's still due for a concussion, and Dawson Knox. I mean, both of these guys I think are good plays. And the Rams guy, there's a lot of good tight end plays. I have a hard time not playing 2 tight ends. I'll be honest. Whether it's a Loveland and a cheapie, there's so many touchdowns in this group right here. We should build a touchdown parlay with like 5 of these guys because there's going to be a lot of tight end touchdowns.
Tight ends are going to be heavy in my touchdown parlays for sure.
I mean, all these guys, literally every guy we just talked about is more than in play for touchdown props.
You didn't even talk about like AJ Barner, I think, is like one of the better
AJ Barner
touchdown props for Seattle, I think, at plus 170. I honestly think he's a pretty good bet. San Francisco's giving it up to the tight ends as well. Anything else here at tight end, Tony, or can we move to defense? And
yeah, that's it.
All right. I think defense is cut and dry here, Tony. I'm going to give my quick defensive takes. I want the upper tier or I want the bottom is the way I'm looking at defense right now. Give me the Patriots, the Texans, obviously, or let me just go down to the 49ers and the Bears and just completely punt the position is the way I'm looking at defense here. I think those are my 4 defenses on the board. The Bears have been good at getting takeaways. 49ers are just obviously a super cheap defense. And I think the way they win, they have to limit Sam Darnold a little bit. They have to stall him out a little bit. Might need a few turnovers. And then obviously the Patriots and Texans are just 2 of the better overall defenses. So those are my 4 that I want. I want to either go all the way up or I want to just punt the position.
Yep, I agree for the most part. I'm not going to play the Bears. But I will play, even though I love Seattle, the 49ers are 2,200. Sam Darnold's made plenty of picks all year long. I have to include the Niners in my builds, but I want to go up top. If I can control it, the Patriots versus CJ, the Texans are just nasty, so I want them in there. And Seahawks are just nasty. So I really want the top 3 with you. But I guess my only change would be I just don't want the Bears. I agree with everything else you said. I'm not playing the Rams. I'm not playing the Broncos. I'm not playing the Bills. And I'm not playing the Bears. So half the teams are eliminated for me right away. And honestly, the other 4, I might just see what it is. Build my team, see what I got left, and fall where it may. Even if it's the 49ers. I love Seattle, but I don't have a problem paying $2,200 for the 49ers.
Yep, I agree. Defense pretty cut and dry, I think, on this slate. All right, Tony, we got to give our anti-plays and our plays of the day, and then we'll get out of here. If you guys want to check out, get more info, core plays, playbooks, full player pools from Big T, my 3-max strategy, get over to runpuresports.com, sign up. Any membership on the board gets you access into the Discord. Easy to do. Link your account from the website and join us. Ask questions in there. Talk football with us. We're in there talking ball all the time. And don't forget, check out Big T's Giblets channel in the Discord. If you like winners, 7-2 last night. He's been on a hot streak. A lot of winners in this hot streak. So make sure you check out the Giblets channel, Big T's Giblets, if you're in there for all the bets winners this weekend and today. I'm sure he'll post some today as well here. So
are you okay with the Broncos in the last spot? I'm not playing the Broncos defense versus Buffalo. Personally, I'm not.
I'm not either, but I get why Broncos.
Any defense is in play. I want to be. You can always play any defense. I honestly like the Denver defense less than I think any defense on the slate.
I just don't want to attack Josh Allen, but I get it.
I think their defense is a little overrated too. I think they're good, but I think they're not as good as people think they are.
Well, the Bills proved that last year when they had a top defense. So, all right, Tony, let's go anti-play here. Who's the anti-play for you on this slate?
Just to create even more conflict, Devontae for sure for me.
Oh, God, you're about to get owned.
Devontae and Kyron, both Rams. Even though I like the Rams a lot this week, I'm just playing Puka. So Devontae and Kyron are my two like antis.
All right, Devontae and Kyron. Man, who do I want to give as my anti? I don't hate the Kyron call. I don't hate it. Who do I want to give here? Screw it. I'll go. Ramondre's 18%.
Let him hang.
Oh, Sam Darnold. Screw it. I'll go Sam Darnold. I'll go Sam Darnold.
That's a good one because I think he'll end up the highest owned quarterback. So
yeah, if you think he's going to be highest owned, I
if
agree.
He's not high, I mean, I do think quarterback will be somewhat like even, but I think he'll be towards the top for sure.
Okay. All right. I like that. Do you want to go first with your play or should I go? It's up to you.
Mean, it doesn't matter. You're not going to steal mine this week. If you know it doesn't matter.
You sure about that?
I'll give a couple. So Bo Nix, I think so. My top quarterback by a mile. I think Colston Loveland's my top tight end by a mile, and I think Pat Bryant is the best.
I was gonna steal it. So see, I knew that's why I literally said.
I just wrote down my notes, so I just went. I think Pat Bryant is the best cheap receiver, like way ahead of Cooper Kupp. So those three, and then my long shot is Cade Stover. So 4 plays like those are my 4.
I like it. I'm just gonna go receiver combo in the last game. I'm gonna go Devontae Adams and Luther Burden receiving combo to get it done here on this slate. So I'll go against Big T's anti of the day, guys. Who's your anti? Drop it in the comment section under this video. Who's your play of the day? Drop it in. We'll give a hat or something like that to one of you guys in the comment section. But give us your play of the day. Give us your anti-play. And smash the like button on the video if you enjoyed this early edition of the Print Factory. We'll be back on Sunday for the Morning Wood. We'll talk a little more in-depth on the 2-gamer and go from there. But that's going to do it for Big T. I'm JSU. Good luck in your DraftKings DFS and betting for this divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And we'll catch you guys on Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern. See you guys then. We're out.